What a beautiful Friday it is. One to celebrate our Super Eagles who have made us proud yesterday in the game against Gabon. Congratulations to us. 4-1 win. And we're looking at the details in a moment. You're welcome to Breakfast Central. I am Olive Emodi.
And I'm Joe Hansen. Yes, we should actually be happy, but it's not yet uhuru,
No,
like they usually say, especially when journalists put pen to paper explaining very critical situation of things, just like that of the Super Eagles. And that makes us wonder, why didn't they just qualify easily than go through all these hurdles? But then again, we're happy because the victory simply means victory for all, especially now that we're faced with a lot of shut up, you know who I am, you are a you understand what I mean? Back and forth. But Gbenga understands more. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria.
Thank God it's Friday. You're welcome to Breakfast Central. Congratulations to Super Eagles of Nigeria for their emphatic win over the Panthers of Gabon. On to the next one. We will be playing the Democratic Republic of Congo on Sunday, and I'm sure we will emerge victorious. And even after that one, we still have one more hurdle to go before we make it Canada, Mexico, and the United States next year. The showpiece, it will be 1994, 30 years since Nigeria made her debut at the World Cup. Remember that Rashidi Yekini goal against Bulgaria?
How many years did you say?
Super Eagles, 30 years ago.
30 years ago.
It would be injustice if we don't make it back to where it all started.
Well, DR Congo is also close to that. The last time that they had their, they were able to get to the World Cup was in 1974.
Wow.
Which is
that's 50 years.
84, 94, 2004.
Yeah.
They're even more. So we want to look at sympathy in terms of who hasn't been to the World Cup in a long time. DR Congo, whom will be playing, they won Cameroon yesterday as well. So we'll be playing them on Sunday.
They don't deserve to go to the World Cup.
Why?
We need to go to the World Cup. We have better players. Let them concentrate on Makosa.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm not around, please. Don't want to.
I will go back.
You people should drag. I'm not around. But yesterday's match.
I'm sure you used to do all that.
I don't. I only dance gentlemanly dance like foxtrot and waltz and.
I see that.
Well, salsa.
I see that.
So you
do. About yesterday's game, I remember when the Super Eagles had scored and then Gabon scored the first one at home. You could see people wondering like how my family members.
Yes.
Were
the game was almost over.
And then before you know, the second goal, Osimhen now did us third and fourth, which was great. At the time I was leaving the house, it was 4-1, and I was just hoping, let me not hear nonsense.
That the 4 belongs to you.
No.
Okay, that's the client.
It was unassailable.
Exactly. However, in the win, one person or two people seemed to dominate the conversation. Osimhen, of course, for obvious reasons. But Nwabali, people have been dragging Nwabali and saying that the Super Eagles need a different goalkeeper, that Nwabali is lazy, that all the theatrics he does at the goalpost is not necessary. They need a less boring, more boring
It's giving on Nana. Yes.
But Cameroon out, that's painful.
Yes.
Uwebo, no more.
Yes.
Onana, no more. So,
well,
but I mean, at the World Cup.
You win some,
that's
you lose
painful.
some.
That's
you know what
painful.
happened yesterday? It was you couldn't have scripted that game.
Yeah.
Because we were looking for a game. It was a goal. It was a KG game, and then we got our goal like maybe 10 minutes to go. And these guys, the Gabonese, got a fluke type of equalizer, hit a wicked deflection, and they scored. So back to 1-1, and then in extra time. So people said there's a meme of some arm robber that was caught, and then they gave him energy drinks, so and then they continue to. That's what we did to Gabon. Make them play extra time.
That meme keeps coming up every time.
Congratulations to them.
That meme comes out every time when you see the guys here is rolling.
I never saw that.
They gave him energy drinks, so to receive beating.
Anyway, but President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has congratulated the Super Eagles of Nigeria for their excellent display. And of course, you can see the tweet. He says, "This is the true Nigerian spirit of resilience against all odds. Do not stop until you secure qualification. Super Eagles, keep soaring. The nation stands with you."
Soar.
They say soar, not roar.
No,
because I don't understand that your
Lions roar.
Because Joe now roared. Anyway. But he's not the only one who's congratulated them. The foreign minister, Yusuf Tugor, has congratulated them. We'll still go and talk about Piers Morgan uncensored in a moment. But he says, congratulations to our national team, NG Super Eagles, on their stunning 4-1 comeback victory over Gabon to secure a place in the final playoff. Well done to the team for staying disciplined and finishing strong. NFF has also spoken about this.
Have they paid them their full emolument?
They are not owing them.
Okay.
Well,
They said-
I don't know.
So they are right to speak.
They said ignore what you hear, you know.
Yeah, and the captain has come out to William Troost-Ekong to say they've...
all is well, you know.
That's ginger.
Yes, that's the
issue
truth.
resolved, outstanding financials cleared and on ground. Team is united and focused as before on representing Nigeria with our maximum for the
English.
games.
Yeah, man.
English
Maximum.
is such a beautiful language.
It's
You
a
know,
Friday,
When
you
the
know.
money is large, it's called
It's
financials.
maximum.
Outstanding financials.
Clear.
Outstanding final. Okay.
Yeah. Anything less than
So wait, if I
500K
owe you
is
2.5,
wages.
wait, if I owe you 2.5,
that
what
one
do you
is
call it?
emolument.
No.
What is wrong with
See,
this
the bigger
man?
the money, bigger the
People have
number.
brought
I don't
out
think
the
2.5 is emolument.
Friday behavior.
No, I think 2.5. Okay, if it's like, okay, this
Okay,
money should
that
be like,
2.5 is wages because it's biblical. The wages of sin is there.
What is wrong with these men?
That one is very
Let us head
biblical
to
in
social
nature.
media and see what Nigerians are saying about the Super
Let's
Eagles
see the
win
wages.
on X. Before this was turned this show into Comedy Central.
let's see the edit.
Let's go see what their tweets are. Olariwaju says, congratulations to the Nigerian Super Eagles on a thrilling 4-1 victory over Gabon, showcasing skill and determination. By God's grace, Lagbara Olorun, you will defeat Cameroon or DR Congo. At this
DR
time,
Congo.
DR Congo had not yet won.
Yeah.
With pride. Secured the intercontinental playoff spot and inspired the nation. Best wishes for a triumphant final. Thank you very much, Olariwaju. I received this on behalf of the Super Eagles. Next tweet.
You're a professional broadcaster. Thank you for not calling it Dr. Congo.
Very funny. We have always trusted the process that involves the players' commitment. What we don't trust is the officials behind the protest. Bang, NFF don't collect. Let's see another one. The next tweet. The Super Eagles were so generous. They let Gabon equalize in the 80th minute just to drag the game to extra time and beat them even worse.
With the energy and then with the...
That's what Gbenga and Joe were referring to, the energy drink and...
collect.
4-1.
Do we just go from the Super Eagles story now to, because we talked about the Minister of Foreign Affairs who had tweeted about the Yusuf Tuga.
No, I think we should go to Abuja.
Let's go to Abuja.
Since we are talking about Nigeria, before we leave the shores. So Super Eagles, well done, congratulations. All of us here from News Central, Breakfast Central, the entire team.
And the whole of the country.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's a Friday. So from the Super Eagles, we've tried leaving this story behind, but like a sour taste to the mouth, the story keeps following us every single where we go to. I was talking about the story concerning the FCT Minister and the naval officer. I don't know if we're going to see an end to this story.
No,
I think after that press conference yesterday, that should wrap it up.
But then again, let's let the people know that the FCT Minister has spoken. You know, we had mentioned here that there was going to be a press conference. Well, because we know him very well. Yes, there was a press conference. Minister Nyesom Wike has finally broken his silence. Speaking yesterday at a press briefing in Abuja, the minister addressed the viral confrontation between himself and Lieutenant Commander M.A. Yerima of the Nigerian Navy over a disputed plot of land in Gusape. Now, Wike, who has faced intense public scrutiny since the altercation, emphasized that he has nothing but respect for all government institutions, including the armed forces, describing the incident as unfortunate and largely taken out of context. Now, he reiterated that his duty as FCT Minister is to uphold the law and protect public land, not to disrespect any institution. Still, despite his clarification, the video of that fiery exchange continues to spark conversations nationwide. Many Nigerians debating where the line truly lies between enforcing authority and respecting other arms of government. But let's take a look at this press briefing.
And a quick correction before we take a look at the press briefing. The rank of the Navy officer is a Navy lieutenant. Not lieutenant commander.
Yeah,
just
lieutenant.
Clear.
All right, let's take a look at the video.
How can I see it as a minister? Government officials have been attacked. Government officials have been beaten up. Government officials to the level of directorship. Then I'm sitting in my office doing what? How will such officials carry out their functions again? when they know their principal or their boss cannot protect them. Not as private individuals, as government officials. So many people have had problems. Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, former general, former head of state, former president, he will call me on phone. Minister, I do go, there is problem of land here. I say, please carry. I will solve the problem. That is former head of state, former elected president. We had the courtesy of calling the minister. Look, I have this problem. I have this problem. See how you can look into it. General Tinubu will call you. Look, there is this and this. These are people who, they're all retired generals. These are people with constant discipline. They didn't bother because they were former chief of minister. They were former president. They never sent soldiers. They never sent anybody to go and attack anybody. They just call you. And respect the gas, respect. Have to respect. And I'll tell them, sir, don't worry. I will sort out the problem. And I will do. I won't even talk about other people who are highly placed. They will come to you. Mr. Minister, maybe we didn't know of this. If we knew, we would have done it like this. When a Sergeant Major General attacked the development control, I wrote a letter. The President Chief of Defense Staff was Chief of Army Staff then. I wrote a letter, sir. See. Because that is a serving military officer. That if anything goes wrong, he's still under the authority, under the control of the military. When I came on board, before them, President Jonathan had awarded a contract to develop another city, which was close to the military, but awarded a contract, not to me. A Federal Council presided over by the CNC. Awarded. The contractor went there, he was just away.
Passionate statement there addressing the media about what could have been done better, and I understand it.
And the proper channels and ways to go about resolving conflict.
So can we all agree that we can put this matter to rest?
Yes.
But
not
this
without
is only from the FCT.
Nigerians
This is from the FCT minister's side now.
But you can't hear from the
you can't hear the
naval.
naval. So Nigerians are still saying that some Nigerians are of the opinion that this is still one-sided story. It's not full. However, I agree with you. I think we as journalists, and especially those of us here on Breakfast Central, we want to unanimously put this conversation to rest.
But before we put it to rest.
But before we put it to rest, I also want to say something.
Okay, say something.
No, you say you guys are ready to.
No, you say something first.
Okay. What I want to say is, excuse me. What I want to say is, it was a bad look. It was terrible optics, bad optics for the government. And it's okay to say, okay, I could have handled this better. I apologize for the way in which I spoke to him. Older people apologize to younger people. It doesn't matter. I have apologized to my staff. My mother apologizes to me when she acts out of order. So it's not a function of age or your rank. If you feel like you have acted out of order, you haven't treated someone with respect, apologize to them. So I think all of that.
He said a lot without
actually saying. You can't say, oh, I respect constitutional authority, without saying, oh, I also now, given the benefit of hindsight, I was upset. I should have reined my emotions in better.
Doesn't remove it.
You know, if he had done that, what that would have done is it's even the way the people view him, it will put him on a high pedestal. People feel like taking accountability and saying, I was wrong.
I mean, maybe even not to Yerima personally.
Yes, to the institution.
The armed forces of Nigeria, uniformed personnel.
Olive, thank you. I just want to read something. Former Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky, Irabor, has criticized the public, especially reactions to the recent confrontation between the minister. Now, he stated this on Thursday while speaking in the national dialogue on media. I don't know if we have that, but if we do,
I believe
let's listen. Yeah.
The uniform is not about who is wearing it. The uniform represents the authority of the state. Whether it's a small boy or not, it is the authority of the state. It's even worse when it is a commission officer who has a presidential commission. And so when you make such disparaging comments, you have desecrated the oath. You have desecrated the oath. What you have told the commander-in-chief and the authority that invested that position on him is that they are fools. So it is wrong. And I think that for the media, it is not about, in any case, law has two ends. For those, we also studied law. I'm not learned, but then in military law, we also taught that for you to be able to establish a crime, there are two elements: actus reus and mens rea. Actus reus, meaning that was this thing done? Is there something that was done? And then the mens rea, what is the intention behind it? So when a son says that the minister has authority over land and it's not the duty of a soldier, that is not the issue. Now, if you have any reason to believe that what the young man is doing, there is a channel. That's the rule of law. So you desecrating the oath, it had not left the realm of what the officer was doing. It is an offense against the state. So this is what you, the media, must try to highlight. I know that over the years, we have lost our educational traction. Civics that ought to be taught, these are things that primary school pupils, secondary school pupils ought to know.
So I think that clarifies every single
very
thing.
well said. From
That balances the
CDS
situation.
General Leo Stan Irabor, a fantastic submission. And it was part of what we discussed yesterday, that
Absolutely.
when you put on that uniform, it's not the person putting on the uniform. It's what you represent. He, as a regular commissioned officer of the Nigerian Armed Forces, of the Navy branch, has a presidential commission. And when you say he's a fool, you are either, you're disparaging the institution and the authority that gave him that commission.
Yeah.
So we need to learn things better. And like Olive said, I wish he
in the entire
apologized.
speech.
I mean, if you're too big to apologize to him because he was in primary school, when you were in university, please, at least the institution, the entire armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Even if Larry Olayinka was the one that put out a publication on behalf of...
Exactly. It doesn't have to be personal.
Yes, the FCT minister hereby would like to tender an reserved apology to the institution of Nigeria.
In the heat of the moment.
Because I'm not doing it to increase your respect.
You can add there to air is human.
Air is human. We're not perfect. There was a day, Olive, when we had that big table, she wore Crocs. We're not perfect to set.
Gbenga.
Okay. We'll hear what Nigerians are saying about this, but to kickstart what Nigerians are saying, I'll take comments on YouTube. We're streaming live on YouTube. Search for News Central Live and join the conversations. You can drop your thoughts and I'll pick it there. Mokunye Chukwuemeka says, the man Wike is only terrified because his supposed small boy stood up against him. In Nigeria, the elders don't apologize. That was why he said a lot without saying anything, just trying to apportion blame. And that's something we need to change. You know, that cultural mentality.
It needs to change.
That older people don't need to apologize to their younger people, that employers don't need to apologize to their employees. These things are outdated principles. If you've acted out of order, regardless of, you know, your influence and your authority, I think even true leadership is being able to take accountability where you find that you were wrong and being able to say, oh, I was right, I'm sorry, I was wrong, you were right, and I'm sorry about that. And it earns you respect and makes people see you as somebody who knows how to take accountability. I think that this could have all been handled differently. But let's quickly head to X and see what Nigerians are saying about this. Tunde Spin says, don't justify bad behaviors after it has happened. The more reasons they say,
it's behavior, singular.
Yeah, bad behavior. After it has happened, the more reasons they say, think before you act. You acted badly, and your behaviors didn't justify the office you represent, sir. So, just to be clear, which person is he talking about here? Because he didn't specify.
He put sir.
Sir, it can be any of them. Is it Nyesom Wike or is it
I think he's referring to the
FCT Minister? All right. Let's take another tweet. Mr. Minister, you're not a private individual. You're a public servant. Your position in the government doesn't make you superior or better than any Nigerian citizen. Next. Irabor. He was shocked that people supported the boy's action against him massively. He feels rejected by the public. Jika 01 says. He was shocked. Let's quickly move that. And that's an interesting one. Masterpiece says, no doubt our people are very lazy mentally, to be honest. Yet they're very quick to judge and put mouth in every political matter, knowing how hard it takes to understudy a political issue, analyze them and seek for the right judgment. Yet no one cares to know all that, as they'll say all manner of things, especially when incidents like this happens to a politician like Wike that does not romanticize all the hypocrisy and mediocrity that is going on in our country, as he says it the way that it is, and is helping our country move forward. Please, this person, next time, use a lot more punctuations. That was such a long paragraph. Yeah. As no country thrives in hypocrisy and is mediocrity with E. Mediocrity, where people are afraid to say the truth, live the truth, and defend the truth. Okay, this is...
I really didn't understand.
Nah, me, I don't understand. We're saying a lot of things and interesting. Masterpiece. Let's move on to our next tweet, please. The next... Do we have another tweet? Okay. I go call... please, spell his name well. It's Yerema, not Yarema. All right, I go call Yerema for you. They're all just waxing lyrical when they have availed themselves as willing tools and brigands to politicians during the bidding of the people like Wike without asking questions. Why will he not disrespect them?
Yeah, he's talking about why they...
This country can't get better when the legal responsibilities are justified by former heads. It's one of the reasons the insurgency grew in the first place. Excuse like they are hungry, they are poor. It is me, I'm not understanding some of them, some of the tweets.
They are disconnected.
Military be like cult, they are like brotherhood. Wike might have it hard if he ever contests for presidential
election. Who told you he's contesting? He said, I'm not contesting for president. That's what he said.
Wow. See how all the past military leaders are protecting their institution. But President Jonathan lost an election and went home to sit down, watching his party, official PDP, and the country get destroyed. PDP don't
this one is shooting stray bullet to two people. PDP
and Jonathan. Jonathan is
he's on his own. No.
This morning watching News Central from his house. People just decided to throw.
I don't know. Former president, please. Sorry, sir. We are begging on behalf of that tweet.
PDP is having their convention tomorrow in Ibadan.
Kuko.
They say it must happen.
Was there any court judgment yesterday? Any?
No, so far, to the best of our knowledge, no. I will
maybe to cover this.
Will it not be an exercise in futility?
You know, sometimes court judgment comes out before a Friday afternoon.
It can even come out an hour before. Oh no, tomorrow
no. Today is Friday, so it will come out by 2 o'clock, and then they close.
Wisdom, nothing.
Because the logistics and the money that will be spent to hold a convention of that magnitude.
Knowing that there's a court judgment.
Knowing there's a court judgment.
Well,
you just rubbish the whole process because you still end up in court anyway.
But yeah, I think the highlight for us as we end this conversation between the FCT minister and the naval officer is that the FCT minister did, first of all, must commend him for holding a press conference. We did see it coming. We had mentioned he will, but we really hope that as an FCT minister, there's a tweet that we put out there, and I think it's a tweet that should go deeper. Whatever I do, whatever Gbenga does, whatever Olive does not only affect our personality, but it affects a station like News Central.
Yeah.
And I think it's high time public office holders understand that it is not about you. It's about the office that you represent and the institution that you represent. While he came on and in all that conversation, to be honest, it was more personal because he said this person called me.
I'm glad that you mentioned that. Let me quickly read this tweet before you wrap up this comment on YouTube. Idris Onifade says, it is wrong for elder statesmen to approach him personally to resolve land issues.
Thank you.
They should approach the institution. He cited the example that OBJ and General T.Y. Danjuma, who were older than him, gave him the courtesy to call him on issues, but he felt he's too big to call the Vice Admiral.
So that's the point. I mean, even if they call you, let's be honest, it's for you to start reshaping and fixing the institution. I think it's one thing that you call me. I mean, I've seen this a situation before where you have issues and you call a friend in the bank and say, well, he tells you, okay, you know what you do? I can only guide you and direct you on what to do. Go there, pick a form, fill it up. You have to wait for 7 days. There's nothing I can do.
Channel.
They are proper. I will guide you. So maybe that's what he could have done. And secondly, I agree with the statement that if we need to fix Nigeria, we also need to recognize what we've said generally. For me, that's the take home. Understand that it is not you, it is the office. And a little, I am sorry. I know I was angry. I said a lot of words to him, which represents the institution. I want to state it here categorically before you, pressmen and Nigerians, that I am sorry, I take my word back. I mean, even the Bible, Job, who cursed God at some point, would say, I take my word back.
I did not curse God, though.
You know, and all that. No, he did. He actually said everything he was going through was as a result of God. I mean,
but it's
from
not
my
curse
study.
now.
Yeah, I mean, when they say curse, curse simply means that he put all the blame and said God is the one who did all of these things.
God.
You know, blamed God. And then all of a sudden he took it back and said, the day I said this, I take it back. My point generally is, FCT Minister is going to call another press conference, by the way, let me mention here. Please, the next press conference, please, kindly apologize.
I mean, it's not hard. I think that's the lesson that all of us should take from here, that when we feel like we've acted out of order, the right thing to do, it's okay to say, I'm sorry, I didn't know better. You know, and we've seen, and we say this not just to the FCT minister, even with the government. There have been times, even on this show here, where they've released certain press statements and then they come back to retract it. It's okay to say, oh, you know, we made a mistake, we didn't know better.
Like the presidential pardon.
Yes.
Hey.
So, and that was exactly what we're talking about, because we felt like we were trying to go through the corners. Say, oh, we recognize that we're not thorough in our analysis or in our execution of this particular issue, and we apologize for that. It's okay. I know they teach you people sometimes in communication, don't say I'm sorry. When you say I'm sorry, nah, it's okay to say I'm sorry. Anyway, but the question is, while we say it's okay to say I'm sorry, will you expect the I'm sorry?
No.
Should the institution expect I'm sorry from the FCT?
I wouldn't. I can put a wager on it that it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Looking at the personality of the FCT.
Okay.
Gbenga.
No, for real though, do you really expect Nyesom Wike to do press release and say I'm sorry?
I think there will be a press release.
And say he's sorry?
You know, I like to preempt these things.
Okay, let's ask
there will
our
be
audience.
A press release.
Let's ask our audience, those streaming live on YouTube. Having said all of this, do you ever expect that the time will come when, in a further address of the issues between Wike and Yerima, yes, they will still keep talking about it. So in further addresses, that he would maybe do a press release and say he acted out of order and he wants to apologize. Do you foresee an apology coming from Nyesom Wike? Go to YouTube now and drop a comment in the chat box. We're streaming live on News Central. I want to see your thoughts about that.
I think the apology will not go to the officer, but then the apology go
any
to
type
to the officer or to the institution. Is there an apology to be expected? And not going through the corners apology to say, oh, I recognize the institution.
Then it could also happen due to pressure from the current service chiefs and retired military personnel, that they wouldn't want this to slide, not to act as a precedent. So they might reach out to the commander-in-chief personally. The presidency, they will put pressure on the presidency and the president, call him to order. And then he will be forced to issue a statement. So if you ever see an apology, that's what happens.
So speaking about what the next statement will be, or the next press conference Wike will hold, Mokunye Chukwuemeka says the next conference Wike will hold will be for both the land issue and the PDP. And that's valid, because very soon we're going to get distracted by the activities of the PDP's conference happening this weekend in Oyo State.